Hi, everyone. Welcome to our live stream. My name is Derin, and I'm joining from Tom&Sawyer to interview one of our long-term customers, Neha, and our main customer, Lucy. And if you're joining from the SwitchGrocery side, a little bit context about Tom&Sawyer. We're a gently cooked pet food company, and we make delicious human grade, 100% human grade AFCO certified dog and cat meals. So the meals are so good, you can eat them
Yes,
yourself.
it's true. I have.
But Neha, please introduce yourself and your pup,
Of
Lucy there.
course. So I'm Neha. I am the owner of Switch Grocery, which is an online store. We find low carb foods before they hit any traditional grocery stores. And Lucy is our chief happiness officer. She's a half Yorkie, half Maltese mix. She's 14 years old. 14. Feel like the Lion King. Like, what? She has so much energy. She's so cute. She is, like I said, she is one of our life's loves. And I say that she is my oldest child because I have a human. I was going to say human fur baby, but I have a human baby, a human fur baby, and they both are best friends. And so this is one of my life's loves.
That's adorable. Oh my gosh. See, like we see them as such a part of our family that you almost called your actual human child a human fur baby. And I'm sure everyone can relate to that, joining especially from our side. But I bet from your side as
Oh my God,
well.
so many of our Switch family, like, oh, sweetheart, she just wants treats now. But they're like, we're animal lovers, and they have cats and they have dogs, and like that's why I just think this is it's just such a great live. It's gonna be a great live because we're gonna talk all about Lucy and
Yeah,
how much love they bring to our lives.
yeah, definitely. So do you want to just start it off by like telling us a little bit about Lucy?
Of course.
She's 14, but are there any like quirks to Lucy or anything we should, know about?
So Lucy actually came into my life. I would say when she was 3 years old. She was with my now husband, then partner, boyfriend, whatever we call it. She was with Brian, and when we met, I was actually more nervous to meet her than his parents, which is so crazy. Like my hands were shaking when he brought her to me because we'd been dating a month, and then he was like, "Well, you have to meet Lucy," and then he kind of carried her and brought her to me, and I actually was like shaking because I was like, "What if the dog doesn't like me? I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do." And then slowly he kind of broke it to me that he was just kind of broke it to me. He was like, "Okay, she sleeps with us in bed." I mean, I don't know how many of y'all like your dogs sleep in bed with you, but even when we dog sit, the dogs we dog sit sleep in bed with us. So sometimes we've had like two dogs in bed with us and a kid, and it's very crowded. But so she came into my life with Brian, and first I had dogs growing up. So I had a Doberman, a Dachshund, and like my whole family had dogs growing up. So I knew how much work it was. And I'm like 30, loving my life. So this is 11 years ago. I'm like loving life, and I was like, Brian, I'm not ready for this responsibility, and I know how much it takes. And of course, he moved in, and then of course she moved in, and of course he started traveling, and then her and I became best friends. And I think she kind of, I'm not sure what we would have kind of done during the pandemic too without a dog, because she helped us, meet people and go out and be outside. But she is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I don't know how to say it, but like wonderful dog. She was always so full of energy. She's so social. She loves people. Even now, she just like loves people, loves going up to people. And she has slowed down a bit, but I'm sure we're going to talk about that. But yeah, that's everything. That's what I have to say about her and how amazing she is.
Yeah. That's so cute. Yeah, I definitely relate to your pandemic comment, especially because also we saw how many people got dogs or like adopted dogs during the pandemic, it was definitely a tough time. But I think it was a time where a lot more people started to relate to their dogs and started to better actually take care of them, which is a great part. I mean, if there were good parts about the pandemic, that may be one.
For sure. I
But
totally agree with you.
yeah, that's such a cute story about how you got Lucy, how you adopted Lucy into your life, and yeah, you're so right. It is a lot of responsibility to have a dog because
Yeah,
like you grow up together basically. Um, but then maybe we can jump into how you kind of got into the world of Gently Cooked with Lucy because it's something that's been growing um, more in the recent years. But you guys have been such long-term customers of Tom and Sawyer, so I'm sure people watching might also want to know how you first got introduced to Tom and Sawyer, but also just like the world of gently cooked pet meals.
for sure. We used to actually make Lucy's food, so she never really went on kibble. I kind of knew that we should try to feed her something that was more palatable. Like I think you and I were talking about it yesterday when we were talking about the live that you know kibble isn't super delicious, and when we think about ourselves eating kibble, it's not very palatable. So at the time, I think we were feeding her. We used to make rice, beef, ground beef, and peas, and we used to mix it up. And took a lot of time for us to make it. So we then decided, and this was Brian. He basically started Googling, okay, what kind of dog food exists? This is a long time ago. I'm trying to remember when we actually placed our first order. I was trying to find it, but it was a very long time ago.
I I
Um,
I actually know when you placed your first order. It was actually in 2016.
oh my
It
gosh.
was in May 2016. So it was definitely a while ago.
That was a long time. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So she's been on Tom and Sawyer food for a very long time. But basically, Brian Googled it. I think he found a blog TO article. I was trying to actually find it earlier today, but I couldn't. And it was just knowing. So I know I take a lot of multivitamins. I've been taking multivitamins my whole life. And we didn't know what to add to her food because we were just like, okay, she's also bored with it. How much ground beef and peas and rice can she eat? So basically we were like, okay, let's see if we can find something else. Honestly, we ordered Tom and Sawyer and the rest was history. She literally she still cries for Tom and Sawyer food. Like she cries every morning, wakes us up and cries for it. And it has really, really helped her health. Like the fact that she's still here is a huge, huge, huge deal for us. Because she does have pancreatitis now, which we'll get to later, but she eats anything and everything from the park, which is a problem. But yeah, we pretty much, I think, placed our first order for Tom and Sawyer and we have never looked back.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Yeah, for sure. And I think like um kibble especially why most people go for it is because it's something like that they think is sure that has all the vitamins they need, right? You don't have to do, much of anything else, but Tom and Sawyer is also complete and balanced. So you have kind of best of both worlds. So you get the peace of mind that you know your dog is getting or your cat is getting absolutely all of the vitamins and minerals and everything they need. But also, they're getting a delicious meal, right? Like
For sure.
something that you would want to have. Because sometimes when I'm feeding my dog, Luna, and I didn't have like dinner yet, I'm warming it up a little bit for her in the microwave, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this smells good.
It is actually really good. I had your tummy tamer once when I was feeling sick. And it was good. I was like, this is something that I would make for myself. The tummy tamer. We always usually keep a pack or two of that in our freezer. We add it to our meals. And I think the other reason we all honestly we wanted to go. There are two, I guess, more reasons. There are two more reasons we went with Tom and Sawyer. One was that we knew when we went to the website, and I remember this, that it was actually designed for a dog, Sawyer. So I think that was really important to me because at Switch Grocery, we're, an online retail, we meet so many suppliers, and the best food products that we've met, the best companies we've met, are born out of necessity. Like they were trying to solve a problem that they didn't see fixed. And so I really related to that because I was like, okay, if these owners can, if they have invested in a nutritionist, if they are feeding this to their dog, and they have a dog, first of all, they have a dog. They're not pet owners. That really stuck with me. And so it was for me a no-brainer because I really, really liked the story of Tom and Sawyer. I did ask if there was a dog named Tom. I was like, wait, so it's Tom and Sawyer, but who's Tom? Tom does not exist, just for if anyone had the same questions I did. And then the third reason was the convenience, right? Like we didn't want to cook all these, we didn't want to cook all these meals. We were like, okay, I don't want to make all this food, and I want to have this. I want to make sure that Lucy eats well, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. So that was my other reason. And Brian would actually add another reason, which would be the subscription, because he's a subscription guy. He just loves, you set it and you forget it, and like it shows up to your door. I don't want to show you our living room right now because there's so many packages. So we're definitely an Amazon package online store family.
Yeah.
And Tom and Sawyer is part of that.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh. I honestly, sometimes even cooking for myself takes up too much time. So having to consistently cook for both me and my dog would take up so much time. It's so much easier to know you have such a variety of different meals to pick from as well, and have them just sitting in your freezer, ready to go, ready to defrost. It's just definitely a peace of mind, and you don't have to worry about their meals. Because sometimes I don't know what I'm eating, but I know exactly what Luna's eating for dinner. So
it's such a benefit.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. I haven't eaten dinner yet, so we'll probably Uber eat something. But she gets like, even today, I took out her meals because I was like, let me talk about this. But look, Fisherman's Best Friend, and then we have, this is like her favorite right now, the rosemary venison.
Oh yeah.
I told her that she's going to get some of this for participating in the live because she's an unpaid actor.
Oh yeah.
Or a paid actor. Let's call her a paid actor since she's going to get food. She loves the kangaroo. Like actually loves it. And then I think you obviously know these flavors better than I do, but the beef and broccoli, I think it has quinoa in it, right?
Yes, beef and broccoli does have quinoa in it. It's a very healthy grain.
And then I couldn't help it, but I think when one of your newsletters, you guys sent the turkey gobbler, and I don't know if it is low fat. She's on a low fat diet, but I was like, okay, I'm not giving her turkey gobbler. Like that just sounds.
Yeah, turkey gobbler is actually not one of our low fat meals. It's one of our regular fat meals, but out of all of the regular fat meals, it is the lowest fat one. So it's definitely maybe not for a dog with pancreatitis, maybe not the best to have often, but a treat.
Occasional.
A treat. Yeah. I love how
it's how Andy says. Tom and Sawyer pups are definitely eating better than me. Like I don't get turkey gobbler. So
yeah, I know.
But can you hear her crying? She's actually crying for the food now.
I do. I was gonna say the way she was looking at all the meals when you were pulling them out one by one. She was just following, like her gaze was following the meals. It was so sweet.
Okay, so I have some rosemary venison. I will actually give it to her now.
Oh my gosh, look at how excited she is.
Because I just think it's a little mean that I'm just taking out all the meals. But here.
Oh okay. My god.
So like this is it. It's she is adorable.
Gosh, look at her.
and guys, like I have not had my dinner yet. Like I haven't eaten any food. And my dog, my sweet little pup is eating rosemary venison.
She's for sure eating better than us.
Yeah, and this
But
is the thing,
she's
like we have actually had to give her her food in two plates. So we give her the first half because she inhales it. So we basically give her food the first plate, then we wait 10 minutes, then we give her a second plate. And I think we follow just like the feeding guide on the site. But she does have high cortisol, so she thinks she's always hungry. So we have to do that for her.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say she's eating it so fast for such a small pup. Oh my gosh, it's almost done.
It's like she's does she eat faster than Luna?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. And
Lucy.
for context, Luna is my dog. She is actually also 14, um, but she's maybe double Lucy's size. She's like 20 pounds. She's a Cocker Spaniel, so she's definitely not a big dog, but she's way bigger than Lucy, and she's definitely slower. She likes to enjoy her food. She likes to cherish the flavors.
Do you hear that, Liz? Cherish, enjoy. Like she's gonna wipe the plate clean. It's fine. I'll help her.
Oh yeah. Well, talking about Lucy, can I ask you another question?
Of course.
Especially because she's like a more senior pup. I mean, for me, it's definitely tough to call my dog a senior dog, so I feel like it must be similar for everyone.
Yeah.
But as she started getting older, how did you prioritize her health? Like, how has the things you've done over time evolved?
Yeah. So I really struggle with the word senior. Like even when you guys asked me to for my words and to help you write the email, I was struggling to write my senior pup. But she is senior, and I think with Tom and Sawyer and the things that we have done, it's given her this wonderful, beautiful life, and I'm happy that she's with us. So there's three things I would say we do to kind of to prioritize her health. One is definitely food, as you can see. That's I think food is number one, and even in terms of how, for example, like I eat, I am pre-diabetic, and food makes the biggest difference on my blood sugar. So I definitely think that Tom and Sawyer has had so much to do with her happiness and just her little skip in her step and just her joy for food. Right? She has never said no to food. Never said no to Tom and Sawyer. And then I think the second thing is just experiences. So we've never taken her. I'd be so interested if there's anyone on the live who's taken their dog on a plane. We've never done that with Lucy, but we've done a lot of. She was really, truly. She's been so loved by so many different family members. She's done sleepovers. We take her. We've taken her. I've taken her on the bus. My brother once was watching her, and he took her to the gym, which is so sweet. And she's got, she had a brother who's no longer with us, unfortunately, and she had another, um, you know, brother, cousin who was from a different litter, but I believe same mom, and he's also no longer with us. So I think those losses were really hard on her. So we've tried very hard to make sure that we take her to the park. She has some doggy friends. We have our beautiful neighbor's dog that we watch sometimes, who she really just likes being around other dogs, even if she won't play with them. So prioritizing like dog company. She went to a yard with Urban Bark, which is a company very close to us on St. Clair, but they used to take the dogs together to a yard to play, which was really important to us. And then just a lot of play. So she used to, okay, she used to play, she used to play with her little squeaker toy a lot, and now she stopped that as much. But we really try to like give her massages. We try to take her to places that she hasn't been. So last year, for the first time, we took her to the beach, which was so nice. Like she just sits and like is the dog that loves like the wind in her face. She's a great relationship with my son. He's almost 5. She was really sad. I think not sad. I'm projecting loose, but she was just like, "Who's the screaming thing that's come into our house?" But at 6 months, Derin, she was like, "He eats." And he drops everything on the floor. I am in love. So she is very close to my son, and he adores her. And they're kind of like, they kind of like get mad at each other, and so I like
They're like
it.
siblings.
They are like siblings. So I like that she has that experience. So we've really prioritized people, experiences. We are going to a cottage. We try to book cottages that are dog friendly, so we don't have to leave her back. So we're going to Prince Edward County with her, like taking her with us and our son in August. So she's going to be see another beach. And yeah, that's I think the second thing, which is experiences. And then the third thing is, like I said, just making sure that she has some friends, other fur babies. And so I'm sorry, I don't want to cry, but every kind of dog that she's grown up with, like in our family, has now passed away. So she's kind of on her own there, but which is why we prioritize, seeing friends with little doggies. And sometimes I wish she could talk so I could actually be like, hey, what else do you need? Like, how do I make you happy? It's something that like keeps me up at night because she can't tell me what makes her happy. So I hope those three things, which is like the food, the experiences, and like people and other doggy friends, that kind of has helped kind of just keep her spirit up.
Yeah, that's so nice. Yeah, I think definitely nutrition and food plays a huge part in health, right? Even like, of course, for dogs, even for humans, it's a huge part of what makes you healthy. It's things you put in your body and things that you put in your dog's body. So that's definitely huge. But it's so sweet that like the play and the socialization has evolved with Lucy, basically. Um, and that also you guys care so much and include her in the activities that you would do regularly, but it's definitely enrichment and bringing all of that sort of stuff into her life, which is really sweet. Um, but that's so cute. I
Thank you.
hear Lucy also has some thoughts to share.
I know. Lucy, what would you like? I think she thinks she needs her second plate. We're definitely going overboard here, but it's okay. She's an actor at this
Yeah,
point,
exactly.
right?
She deserves it, at least now.
Sorry, is that Tom, your dog? Oh my gosh, do you want to answer this question? Is
Yeah,
there a Tom in Tom and Sawyer? Does Tom exist?
so Tom is not a real dog. Tom doesn't exist, but Sawyer does. So Sawyer is actually the owner's pup. He's also 10 years old this year. And so that's where Tom and Sawyer comes from. Tom and Sawyer is like a namesake for Sawyer. It's almost like a little love letter to Sawyer. The whole reason we exist is because Kristen and Peter, the co-founders and the owners, they um, wanted to have gently cooked food for their dogs mainly, but also because it's so much healthier in terms of like ingredients and everything like that. They just wanted to share that with as many people, as many dogs and cats as they could. So Tom is like a hypothetical cat, while Sawyer is a real dog. But um, Neha's pup there is Lucy, and she's 14 years old, and we're just asking a couple questions and getting to know Lucy and Neha a little bit better.
Yes, if you're just joining, this is Lucy, and she's 14 years old. She's a half Maltese, half Yorkie mix, and she came into my life with my partner, who said he was a package deal with Lucy. That's why she's here today.
Yeah. Well, thanks for telling us about how the things you've done have evolved with Lucy over the years. But kind of off of that question, I have another one. So, of course, you've had Lucy's been in your life for about like over 10 years now. And things have changed a lot in like the pet world and the dog world. Um, Especially like not only with food but with kind of everything, so like toys, treats, all of that stuff. And I think that sometimes it's really hard to keep up with it. Especially like what you said, right? You stay up at night and you're like, how can I make Lucy happier? And then seeing all of these different kinds of stuff online, on social media. How were you able to identify the things to kind of take away and move forward with, versus the things that are just maybe like a trend, or things that just pop up but don't really add anything to her life?
Yeah. So I knew you were going to ask me this because I am just, I don't want to answer this question, but I will. So, and I think it would be helpful because maybe there's other people like me who do this. So we were on Tom&Sawyer Food, and I don't know when this was. This might have been, actually, I do know, 2019. So 3 years after. And really, raw food was trending. So it was a lot of, I'll just give you another treat, Liz. I think she really thinks that she needs more food. Oh, I know. I'll give her the Tom&Sawyer bowl to lick. So she can lick it. So this was 2019, and Instagram was really big. And we were just scrolling, and we saw raw food. As At that time, raw food was really trending, and
Yeah.
so I said to my partner, to Brian, I said, "Let's try raw food. Let's see how it is." And now Lucy is a Yorkie, and Yorkies lick your face a lot. Like that's how they tell you your arm. Like she'll lick my whole arm, and that's how she's telling me she loves me. She's trying to clean my arm. So I did think about that. I was like, ooh, if she eats raw food, I don't know if I want her licking my arm. But raw food was a trend, and so we decided to try it. We tried it for a few days, and she was eating it, and then we would kind of like wash her face after. And one night we were in bed, and then she started throwing up. So maybe this was a few days in, and she basically started throwing up a lot everywhere. She threw up. I would clean it. Then she threw up again. Brian would clean it. And I think it was now 8 a.m. And I went outside and I saw that she had thrown up 5 more times. So at that time, now we're kind of a rush to the vet kind of family. So, and you might know that whenever you go to the vet, minimum it's at $300. So,
Yeah.
So we were trying to be like, okay, let's not rush to the vet. Maybe we shouldn't be that family anymore. But Lucy, by every second, was getting more and more lethargic. She was stopping. She wasn't responding to me anymore. So I would be like, she couldn't even lift her head. And I was like, Lucy, are you okay? I asked her, I was trying to get her out of bed. She couldn't walk. And at some point I remembered that, once a dog stops kind of responding, it's like an immediate 911. Mm-hmm. So we called right away. We called our vet. They said, bring her in ASAP. Brian took her in, and Derin, within 4 minutes, he called an emergency hospital and he said, you have to take her or she's going to die.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what test they did, but they were just like, she needs to get an IV into her in 5 minutes. And we can't do that here. So Brian took her there, and then I met him, and they didn't even really do a check-in. Like it was just, they just put her back and took her out of sight for us, and they started to look after her. And so at this point, we're probably freaking out. And, we just sat in the vet, I guess it would be the vet surgeon. But the more advanced vets in the hospital. And so we were just sitting in the doctor's office, and he came. So he walks in, and then he sits down, and then he leans forward, like kind of just crosses his fingers and goes, what did she eat? Wow. Have you changed anything recently? And it was, he was basically trying to say, okay, like this is very, very serious. And, we were going to tell him everything. So we said, okay, what do you tell a doctor? Do you say, hey, I saw it on Instagram or whatever the case is? There were obviously, again, if you do a search, there's a lot of articles that talk about the benefits of raw food.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
what happened with us. That was our story. And he said to us, he was very kind, but he said, she may not make it. You've introduced raw food to a dog who's never had raw food before. Raw food comes with risks, the way that where it's prepared. And it's just something that professionally, I cannot recommend for her, especially. So because it's basically caused a bout of pancreatitis. So I have a picture of
Wow.
her. She's so sweet. She was in ICU for four
Oh.
days.
Oh
And it
my
was,
goodness.
I know, it was so, this is when she was actually alert. They didn't really let us see her when she was not. And then like we went back the next day, they were like, no, she's not ready yet. And then we went back the day after and they said, you can see her and you can kind of see her face, right? She's not
No.
super there.
Yeah.
Um, it was really, really hard. And it was something that like I will always admire about Tom&Sawyer, because I contacted the owners at the time and I said, I've done something, like I need your help. What do we do? She's pancreatitis and there's, this is what they're saying. And they were very comforting. And then that's when they kind of recommended that she's got to be, which we heard anyway from the vet, but they said, when she comes back, she's got to be eating low fat food. So yeah, we almost lost her. And it was because we saw something online and we tried it.
Oh
So it was our horror story. And the bill was obviously, as you know, like we would have paid anything. Honestly, they were like, oh, this is going to be, we just said, just take all our money, just whatever here's my
yeah.
credit card. Like, I don't even care. But
Yeah.
she was saved. And she's had a couple of other incidents where she's eaten something in the park and it hasn't been that bad.
Hmm.
We've been able to kind of, manage it. But she, for the rest of her life, will always be, at risk of something happening. So we're very cautious now with her. But that was my honestly horror story of trying a fad diet for my dog.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I feel like that's such a personal experience and like very touching to me. And I feel like that's honestly every pet parent's worst nightmare. Like, because what you were trying to do was try something new that you obviously hoped would maybe improve or add to her quality of life and health, and it was the complete opposite, which is like my personal nightmare. I'm sure everyone else can relate to that when you're trying to help, but it does the opposite. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's yeah, that's such a tough story to tell.
I know. And we made it.
Yeah, but Lucy's here and she's fine.
I can't look at that photo without crying because it just brings me back to that moment of, and especially when the vet kind of comes and says, so what have you changed? Because he just knew would cheat, like something happened, right? So I felt like Derin, I felt like I was in university. Really wrong. And the professor's like, but the stakes are way high. Like your dog may not make it through the night. And we're just like, oh my God, whatever, please save our dog. Please save our dog. And he was like, we're going to do our best. But basically they did say that if we hadn't brought her in at that moment, um, you know, like
Yeah.
another hour or 2 hours, like she would not have made it, but she's fine. She's fine now.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Be a treat.
Yeah.
I love
She's
you.
fine, and even though her diet is a little bit more maybe limited with
Yeah,
lower fat meals,
I know. She
um
misses her IBP, her Italian beef pasta. Why? Can you make low fat Italian beef pasta, please, for her? Look at her.
Aw,
She needs her pasta.
she's so sweet. But she does have a lot of low-fat meal options.
I was surprised. I thought when you guys sent us the list, I was like, okay, she's going to be down to 2 meals or something like that. But there's a ton. There's enough variety for
Yeah.
sure.
We actually have more low fat meals than we do regular fat meals. We have 4 regular fat meals, but 5 low fat meals. Of course, the um, dogs that are fine with the regular fat meals can enjoy the low fat meals as well. But I think it's really important, especially not only for dogs with pancreatitis, but there's a lot of other dogs that have other fat intolerances or reasons why they can't be on a regular fat diet, especially with senior dogs as well. There's lower activity levels, lower, so they need a little bit less of that fat compared to growing puppies or adult dogs. So I think it's really important to have that like variety of low fat meals. But I'll list the 5, and you tell me um, Lucy's favorite, or like rank it for us. How much
Okay.
she likes which one. So we have the rosemary venison, which she just devoured. Um, we have the beef and broccoli. We have the coconut chicken. We have a kangaroo recipe, kangaroo meal, and a fisherman's best friend. So those are the 5 low-fat meals. What do they rank for Lucy?
So I would say definitely. I think the rosemary medicine. I mean,
Top.
is number one. I think
Mhm.
kangaroo is second. I didn't even know. I tried kangaroo personally in Australia, and I was like, oh, this is kind of. It's a little bit closer to steak, but it's more gamier. I didn't know how she would like it, and she loves kangaroo. Like actually, loves kangaroo. Wait, what were
Yeah.
the others?
Coconut chicken, fisherman's best friend, beef and broccoli.
Okay, so I would say this is really hard. Then I would say third is coconut chicken because that's a delicious one.
Yeah.
And then fourth is fisherman's best friend, and beef and broccoli would probably be tied.
Yeah.
But that's such a difficult question, Darren, because you just saw Lucy eats all her food. Like
Yep.
there's nothing she's turned her nose up at, and it disappears. So for her, like it's again, I wish she'd talk. Which one do you like most? But I would say kangaroo. At least she like devours at a faster speed.
Yeah. She inhales that.
Fully, and we're just like where's the plate? It's like it's actually funny when we go out for steak, we always I order more steak because I know that I have to bring her some for her, and literally when we come home she inhales it, Darren, like it's inhaled and it's just gone. So
Oh
that's
my gosh.
that's who my little love is, just inhales her food.
But see, this is also the fun part of like dog appetite that you don't really think about. Um, because also different dogs are so different with their appetite. You said rosemary venison is Lucy's favorite. It's definitely up there for Luna as well, but coconut chicken, I think she would rank number one.
Yeah.
Um, but it's really funny and interesting how they have different tastes and they like certain flavors more, but it's so nice to be able to provide them that variation of proteins and options and meals, which is really sweet.
Do you
Um,
guys have like what are your top sellers?
so our top seller, as you kind of mentioned, Lucy missing, is the Italian beef pasta.
Of
It's
course.
yeah, it's definitely, it looks amazing to us as well, but it's definitely the top meal. So it's a meal that has healthy grains. It has beef. It has beef liver. So there's a lot of vitamins and a lot of flavors. And of course, it's the regular fat meal. So fat brings more flavor.
Sure.
Um, yeah, so Italian beef pasta is definitely the number one bestseller, but for more regular fats, we also have a classic pork stew. We have goji berry beef, which is a great one. It's more of like, I like to call it a breakfast meal because it has oats in it, which is another healthy grain, and a lot of berries, so lots of antioxidants and things like that. And then the turkey gobbler, which you said Lucy indulges in every once in a while as a treat. Um, but Kangaroo and rosemary venison are also really popular because they're novel proteins. So a lot of dogs that have allergies can also have those
Oh,
because most
interesting.
of the common allergies are beef, chicken. Generally, those are the two. I would say lamb is kind of up there as well, but venison and kangaroo are two really great options, as well as the fisherman's best friend too, actually, because it's a whitefish. It's wild caught pollock, so it's another kind of novel protein. It's also really good for white dogs that tend to have more of a discharge because the novel protein kind of stops that from happening, the whitefish. So again, the same thing I said about um, the low fat meals and how we have so many options. It's so good to have so many options for dogs that have allergies that won't be able to really switch between many different proteins, but they're still able to do that a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Wow. Also,
Yeah.
you know a lot, Derin. Just
Yeah, honestly, you it's easy to learn when you're so interested in it yourself, and I care so much about my dog's nutrition, so it makes it so much easier and more exciting for me to learn more about these meals and what's in them and all of that different stuff. So,
I love that. That's great. I'm gonna
yeah,
probably
but
email you some more questions after this live.
sorry?
I'm gonna email you some more questions after this live.
Yeah, send them my way. And just to wrap it up a little bit, we just talked about such a heavy thing that happened in Lucy and your shared lives. And so I kind of want to end this off in a little bit of a lighter note, maybe. And maybe you can share one of your favorite memories with Lucy, or one of the best moments that you've had together.
I there's so many. I think I'll put her. Should I put you down for this, or do you want another treat? I'll you want another treat. I would definitely say just the full circle of my 4-year-old walking Lucy. Like he fully walks Lucy now on his own, and I just walk behind him, and it's
Oh,
just so nice. Um, their friendship is so nice to see, and the probably Lucy at on vacation with us is my favorite memory. Just last year when we went to the beach and her first time seeing a beach, I think it was the photo that I sent you guys because I just really wanted when you'd asked for a photo for this live, like that was the photo. She
yeah.
was just,
Oh.
and when her tongue's out, she's really happy, and she was just so happy. That's been really helpful for me because, as you know, like life is busy. We work, we work a lot all the time, and so making sure that even if it's like a memory that I can create with her, or I know that my husband like is obsessed with her. I think dogs always choose a person, and so I would say Brian is definitely her person, probably because she was with him. You know,
Yeah.
he he chased her down the street when she ran away from the house, like barefoot. And he has all those cute memories when she was a puppy and just literally had boundless energy and could not. He was just trying to keep up. So I think those memories. I asked him earlier. I was like, "What's your best memory?" And he's like, "Chasing her down the street barefoot." Um, but mine have been more. Oh my gosh, there's so many, Derin. But I think the biggest one was when I started Switch Grocery because I was really lonely. I'd always had a job. And so when I started Switch, I was just like, what do I do? Like, I don't have anybody. And so I always called her my employee number one. She was,
Oh,
we gave her the title Chief Happiness Officer. And hey, if you were ever late on shipments, post a picture of Sawyer with, I'm so sorry I'm late. Because we were delayed on a launch and everyone was waiting online to order. And we just put put a picture of Lucy with, I'm so sorry, the chocolates are delayed because they were stuck at the border. So she really helped me. Like it's lonely when you start a business, and I think she was always by my side. I was in a co-working space. She came with me and made friends with everybody and tried to beg everybody for food. So those were some of my like seriously best memories of it was it's a pain because it's responsibility. Being a parent is comes with responsibility. It means that you can't, you know, I can't take off for 4 nights with, that's just not my life now. But it just comes with so much love, and it comes with companionship, and it comes with, yeah, I just couldn't imagine my life without her.
Oh,
And
that is so sweet.
thank you, Andy. That's really sweet. You're a rock, Andy. You're a rock star. Seriously, you are a rock star.
For sure. Yeah. Lucy and Luna are both really lucky, but honestly, anyone that does the best they can and
I feel like
uh,
Andy's a dog parent for sure.
yeah, honestly, because you can relate on a different level when you have a dog yourself. Like, I think it's so much more harder to imagine if you don't have a pet, honestly, not even just a dog, but a pet in general. When
Yeah.
people say, oh my gosh, this is like my child, my baby, a family member, it's so hard to understand that until you have a pet yourself and you're like, oh my gosh, this is totally a part of my family. This animal is a part of my family, and you treat them just like you would any family member. So
Be careful, Derin. You're waking up the TikTok feud. Right?
oh my gosh, yeah. um but yeah, so this has been a great live stream. Thank you so much, Neha,
Of
for being
course.
here with me and talking about Lucy and how you've both grown together and she's been a part of your family and all the things that you've went through. Um, but she is very lucky to have such a great dog mom, and she's lucky to be having some of the best food and the best of everything, whatever you can provide. Um, so this has been great. But anyone that's interested in learning more about Tom and Sawyer, you should totally visit our website, tomandsawyer.com, and take a look at all of our meals. We also have a subscription program. So, as Neha was saying earlier, if you're a subscription kind of person, set it and forget it. You don't have to worry about your dog's or a cat's food coming in. We totally have many options. And on top of that, we're in a lot of retailers across Canada as well. So if you ever wanted to just try one or two meals here or there, you can always go to our website to find our retailers as well. Um, and if you have any further questions, you can also always send us an email, and it'll probably be me or one of my coworkers answering any of your questions that you might have about our meals or subscription or anything else. But
Yeah.
thank you so much, Neha. It's been
Thank you. And
great.
thank you guys for doing everything you do. I mean, I shared this live to my LinkedIn too, because I think it's so important to see how a business is doing. Business is always interesting to me, and I find that Tom and Sawyer is just a company that really focuses on quality. Like, how people talk about quality and people talk about but I've checked out other dog and cat food companies for my friends, and I really think you guys are doing such a great job. I mean, 5 stars.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
Seriously.
so much.
And
Yeah.
thank you for keeping Lucy with me at 14. Thank you for being one of the big reasons why she's here and she's happy.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we love to like spread the gently cooked world and introduce new people to this healthy dog and cat food lifestyle. But it's great to actually like hear it face to face from you, especially because you've been such a long-term customer, and see Lucy, of course.
I know, our chief happiness officer.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us. And I think she's so excited because she's had so many treats and so many, like her third rosemary venison today. So she's
Oh my
happy.
gosh.
All right, Lucy, we're gonna sign off. So can you say
She's
bye?
like, let's do more lives. I get so much.
Wait, let's do a quick photo.
Yeah.
Smile. Okay, let's do it. Cheese. Got it. Bye, guys. It was so nice to meet
That is so cute.
everybody. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thank you, everyone, for joining and watching. It's been great.